the last time you rode a cruiser that could do that? If you're anything like me, cruisers pose a bit of a problem. I love the way they look. They're long, low, they make a great sound, but most of the cruisers I've ridden don't really perform very well. They don't corner that well. You'll drag a peg. They're hard to manage in parking lots. But what if there was a cruiser that had all the trappings of the cruiser style bike, but had the performance of a sport bike? And not just any sport bike, a Ducati. And that's exactly what Ducati has done with the all-new Xdiavel. The first thing to know about the new Xdiavel is that it's a completely redesigned machine over its Diavel predecessor, moving the Italian motorcycle maker squarely into the cruiser market. Or does it? The Xdiavel performs so much like a sport bike that after 150 miles of seat time through the city, on highways, and through canyon roads around San Diego, California, many of the journalists who attended the international launch were left questioning whether or not the Xdiavel could even be called a cruiser. All their hand-wringing and second-guessing got me to wonder about the more philosophical question, which is, what even is a cruiser? Conventional wisdom defines a cruiser as a motorcycle modeled after the American bikes produced during the middle of the 20th century, which meet certain design criteria. So let's see if Ducati's Xdiavel meets those basic requirements. First up, should have a large displacement V-twin engine. The Xdiavel's Testastretta motor displaces 1,262 cubic centimeters. And while technically the big Italian iron is an L-twin, not a V, let's agree that the Xdiavel passes the first test. The next item in our Is It a Cruiser challenge is that said engine be tuned for low-end torque. Well, the 2016 Xdiavel delivers a butt-kicking maximum 95 foot-pounds of torque, peaking out at 5,000 RPM. Further up the revs, the Xdiavel's torque curve flattens out all the way up to just under 8,000 RPM, finally delivering its maximum 156 horsepower at 9,500 RPM. So, if numbers are our guide here, then the Xdiavel handily meets the low-end power cruiser challenge. It's the delivery of that low-end torque that makes cruisers so easy to ride. Their engines don't need to be constantly accelerating to deliver power. And for as much brute force as it has, the Xdiavel delivers that power in a remarkably smooth way. All that power is smoothed out by a drive-by-wire throttle system and a very un-Ducati-like belt drive. Further taming all that torque is a suite of electronic ride modes that control engine power, traction control, and ABS. Deciding to take the let's see what this thing can do approach, the first thing I did was set the bike in sport mode. After a few blocks in the city to get a feel for the bike, I gave the throttle a hard goose off a stoplight. The front wheel lofted off the asphalt to 10 o'clock, and would have stayed too, only if I had the nerve or skill to keep it there. After 3,000 RPM, the Xdiavel's acceleration is nothing short of shocking. The way it pulls made me imagine that one night a Monster 1200S and a 1299 Panigale got together and gave birth to a mutant cruiser baby. The sensation of acceleration is further enhanced by the bike's riding position, which brings us to the third question in the Is It a Cruiser challenge? Central to any self-respecting cruiser is a feet forward, arms out riding position. The forward set foot pegs are adjustable 3 ways, forward and back, and the low bucket saddle and wide bullhorn handlebars had my arms out in front of me. I found the stock riding position comfortable for my 6'3" frame, though I heard some riders complaining about some lower back strain after riding the bike all day. One big concession that cruiser riders have come to accept is a lack of ground clearance and turning lean angle. While some machines are better than others, bottoming out in driveways or scraping a foot peg or floorboard is just a fact of life when you're riding a cruiser. And it's on this point, Ducati's Xdiavel makes a departure from the cruiser status quo. With 40 degrees of lean angle, peg scraping with your feet forward is a thing of the past. Once you realize that, you can carve it like a sport bike. Even with its long 63.5-inch wheelbase, 30 degrees of rake, and 5.12-inch trail, the Xdiavel has remarkable turning tendencies, even more surprising considering its super fat 240 section rear tire that was custom designed for the bike by Pirelli. So if your definition of a cruiser means that you can't lean it over, well, then I say you can keep that cruiser. Now I know I've just made some enemies with that statement, but let me tell you, Ducati has managed to deliver a motorcycle that really gives you the best of both worlds. The Xdiavel will be available in 2 model ranges, with an MSRP of $19,995 and the Xdiavel S with an MSRP of $22,995. For the extra $3,000, the S model comes with a host of aesthetic and technological features. A glossy paint finish, billet rearview mirrors, and a Bluetooth integration system. But most noticeably, the S comes with a different headlight, with a slick-looking, daytime-running LED. Plus, the S model comes with beefier Brembo M50 front brake calipers that are noticeably better than the stock Brembos on the non-S model. Ducati's Xdiavel takes on the very notion of what a cruiser is supposed to be, and in the process, lives up to its X designation by creating something entirely exciting and new. It performs like a sport bike, it rides like a cruiser, it looks like something from the 21st century. So if you're looking for a cruiser that really does perform like a sport bike, then the Xdiavel is the motorcycle for you.